Tonight feels different, quiet, but heavy with a feeling I can't ignore. Sometimes the heart speaks in a whisper, and sometimes the heart speaks in a whisper, and sometimes it calls out like a storm that refuses to be silent. And tonight, there are moments in life when words become more than words, when they carry longing, hope, and a fragile kind of courage. This is one of those moments because when I say, please come to me tonight, it's urgent. I'm not speaking from fear. I'm speaking from love. Love has a strange way of making time feel slower when you're apart and faster when you're together. It turns ordinary nights into something unforgettable and simple moments into something sacred. And tonight, this night, feels like one of those moments that shouldn't be faced alone. Maybe it's the silence around me. Maybe it's the silence around me. Maybe it's the memories of your smile. Or maybe it's just the truth that my heart knows where it belongs. So if you hear something trembling in my voice tonight, it isn't weakness, it's love, asking for presence, for warmth, for you. Because sometimes the most important thing we can say to the person we love is simple, come to me tonight, because my heart needs you here. Sometimes a night arrives that feels heavier than all the others. The air is calm, the world moves slowly, yet inside the heart something refuses to stay quiet. Tonight is one of those nights. It isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, but it carries a weight that only love understands. It isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, but it carries a weight that only love understands. And in this quiet moment, there is only one thought repeating itself over and over in my mind. Please come to me tonight. It's urgent. Not urgent in the way the world usually defines urgency. There are no alarms ringing, no chaos outside the window, no sudden disaster waiting to be fixed. The urgency comes from somewhere deeper. It comes from the heart when it realizes how much someone truly matters. It comes from the silence that feels too wide when the person you love is not there beside you. You know, love is strange like that. It doesn't always shout, sometimes it simply sits quietly inside your chest and waits for the right moment to speak. And when it finally does, the words feel simple, almost fragile, but they carry the entire truth of your soul. Tonight, my soul is speaking. I keep thinking about how many nights we have already lived in this world without realizing which ones would become memories. Some nights pass by like ordinary pages in a book. You close them and move on without even noticing the words. But then there are nights that feel different before they even begin. Nights that seem to whisper to you that something important is waiting to happen. This is one of those nights. Maybe it's the way the sky looks outside. Maybe it's the stillness in the air. Maybe it's the way your name keeps echoing quietly inside my heart. I don't know exactly why, but I know that tonight feels like a moment that shouldn't be spent alone. When I say please come to me tonight, I'm not asking out of loneliness. I'm asking because love has a way of creating invisible bridges between two hearts. I'm asking because love has a way of creating invisible bridges between two hearts. Yet, even when miles exist, even when silence exists, even when silence exists, those bridges remain. And tonight, that bridge feels alive, like it's calling for you to walk across it and find me waiting on the other side. I imagine you hearing these words somewhere far from here. Maybe you're sitting quietly. Maybe you're lost in your own thoughts. Maybe the night around you looks just as calm as the one around me. And maybe for a moment, you pause and wonder why my voice feels different tonight. It feels different because my heart is open in a way it rarely is. There are things we carry inside us that we don't always say out loud, feelings we protect because they are delicate, memories we keep close because music, they mean too much. Love often lives in those hidden places, growing slowly, patiently, waiting for the moment when it can finally step into the light. Tonight feels like that moment. I keep remembering the way everything feels easier when you are near. Conversations don't need effort. Silence doesn't feel empty. Even the simplest moments suddenly feel meaningful, like time itself slows down just to watch two souls sharing the same space. That kind of connection is rare. It isn't something you find everywhere. It's the kind of thing that appears quietly in life and then changes the way you see the world forever. You changed the way I see the world. Before you, nights were just nights. They came and went without leaving much behind. But after you, every evening started carrying a different kind of feeling. Sometimes it was warmth. Sometimes it was warmth. Sometimes it was curiosity, the simple hope that maybe, just maybe, you would be part of that moment. And tonight, that hope feels stronger than ever. There's a quiet urgency inside me that I can't ignore. Not because something bad is about to happen, but because love sometimes demands honesty in the most unexpected moments. It asks us to stop pretending we are calm when our hearts are racing. It asks us to stop hiding feelings that deserve to be spoken. So here I am, speaking honestly. Please come to me tonight. It's urgent. Urgent because the night feels too meaningful to waste. Urgent because there are things in my heart that deserve to be shared face to face instead of hidden behind distance. Urgent because when you truly care about someone, you begin to understand that time is precious. Use every moment matters when it involves someone you love. I think about how many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect time to say what they feel. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect words, the perfect circumstances, but life rarely gives us perfection. What it gives us are moments like this one, quiet, real, slightly uncertain, but filled with truth. And sometimes the bravest thing we can do is simply say what our heart is asking. My heart is asking for you. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight, because tonight feels like a page in our story that shouldn't remain blank. It feels like a moment meant to be shared instead of remembered as something that almost happened. I imagine you arriving here under the soft light of the night. Maybe the air would be cool. Maybe the stars would be watching quietly from above. Maybe neither of us would know exactly what to say at first. But sometimes words aren't the most important part. Sometimes just being there is enough. Just knowing that the person who matters to you chose to come when your heart called. Just feeling their presence in the same space, breathing the same air, sharing the same silence. Love can live inside silence just as beautifully as it lives inside words. And tonight I want that silence with you. I want the quiet understanding that exists when two people don't need to explain everything, the kind of understanding that grows slowly over time, built from shared glances, small smiles, and the simple comfort of knowing someone truly sees you. You see me, that's part of why this night feels urgent, because being seen by someone you love is one of the rarest gifts in the world. It's not about perfection. It's not about pretending to be stronger or wiser than you really are. It's about standing in front of another person exactly as you are and realizing they are still there, still listening, still caring. With you, I never feel like I have to hide. And tonight, I don't want to hide this feeling either. Please come to me tonight. Not because I demand it, not because I expect it, but because my heart hopes for it in the most sincere way possible. There are so many things in life we cannot control. Time moves forward no matter what we do. People change, circumstances shift, the world continues its endless motion. But moments like this one, moments where love asks us to be brave, those are the moments we actually get to choose. We choose whether to ignore them or embrace them. Tonight, I'm choosing to embrace this feeling. I'm choosing to trust that love is worth the vulnerability it requires. I'm choosing to believe that when two hearts feel the same quiet pull toward each other, it means something real. And if you feel even a small echo of that same pull, then maybe you understand why this night matters so much to me. Maybe you understand why this night matters so much to me. Maybe you understand why I keep repeating the same simple request. Please come to me tonight. It's urgent. Because sometimes the most important moments in life begin with a single invitation spoken softly into the night. And sometimes the most beautiful stories start when someone hears that invitation and decides to follow it. Tonight carries a strange kind of silence. The world outside seems calm, almost ordinary, but inside my heart there is a feeling that refuses to stay quiet. It's not fears and it's not confusion. It's something deeper than that. It's the kind of feeling that only appears when someone truly matters to you. The kind of feeling that only appears when someone truly matters to you. The kind of feeling that makes a simple sentence carry the weight of an entire soul. Please come to me tonight. It's urgent. I keep repeating those words in my mind, not because I enjoy the urgency, but because love sometimes arrives with a quiet intensity that cannot be ignored. It doesn't ask politely for attention, it gently takes hold of your heart and reminds you that some moments deserve to be shared. Tonight feels like one of those moments. I don't know exactly when this feeling started growing. Maybe it began with a memory. Maybe it started with the way your voice sounds when you say my name. Maybe it started with the way your voice sounds when you say my name. Maybe it was the small moments we spent together that slowly turned into something meaningful without either of us realizing how powerful they were becoming. Love rarely announces itself loudly, it grows quietly, like a soft light appearing in the distance. At first, you barely notice it, then slowly, over time, it becomes something that warms everything around it. It became that warmth in my life. Before you, nights were simply part of the passing hours. They came, they faded, and another day would begin without leaving much behind. But after you, nights started feeling different. The darkness no longer felt empty. It started carrying thoughts of you, memories of you, and sometimes a quiet hope that somewhere out there you might be thinking about me too. That hope is what fills this night now. When I say, please come to me tonight, I'm not asking for something dramatic. I'm not asking for grand gestures or perfect words. What I'm asking for is something simple but incredibly rare, your presence. Because when someone you love is near, the entire world changes in the most subtle ways. The air feels warmer. The silence feels peaceful instead of lonely. Even the smallest moments begin to feel like something worth remembering. I imagine what it would feel like if you were here right now. Maybe we wouldn't even start speaking immediately. Maybe we would just stand there for a moment, letting the quiet of the night surround us. Letting the quiet of the night surround us. Sometimes silence says more than conversation ever could. There is something powerful about being close to someone without needing to explain everything. Just the knowledge that they came because your heart called for them. Music. Just the understanding that your presence matters enough for them to step into the night and find their way to you. That's what makes this moment feel urgent. Not because time is running out, but because love deserves honesty when it appears. Too many people wait too long to speak their hearts. They hide their feelings behind hesitation, hoping another chance will always come later. But life doesn't promise later. All we truly have are the moments happening right now. And right now, my heart is telling me that tonight matters. Maybe it's because I've been thinking about the journey that brought us here, all the small coincidences, all the unexpected conversations, all the time our paths crossed in ways that seemed ordinary at the time, but now feel meaningful. Music. When I look back at those moments, I realize something important. Every step slowly led to this feeling. A feeling that tells me your presence isn't just something I enjoy. It's something my heart genuinely values. Something that brings peace to the parts of me that once felt restless. You have a way of doing that. You bring calm into spaces where my thoughts used to wander endlessly. You bring light into moments that once felt dull and forgettable. And maybe that's why tonight feels impossible to ignore, because love has reached that point where silence would feel like a lie. So instead of pretending everything is ordinary, I'm letting my heart speak clearly. Please come to me tonight. It's urgent, urgent because I want to share this moment with you before it disappears into memory. Urgent, because sometimes a simple night can become something unforgettable when the right person is standing beside you. Imagine walking through the quiet streets while the world sleeps. The sky above filled with distant stars that have been shining long before either of us existed. The air carrying that peaceful stillness that only nighttime can create. Now imagine two people standing under that sky, aware that something real exists between them, not something loud, not something forced, just something genuine. That's what I feel when I think about you. And tonight, I want that feeling to exist in the same place, at the same moment, instead of living only inside my thoughts. There's a special kind of courage in asking someone to come closer to your heart. It means admitting that they matter. It means showing them that their presence changes something inside you. I'm not afraid of that truth anymore. If loving someone means risking vulnerability, then maybe that vulnerability is one of the most beautiful parts of being human. Because when two people allow themselves to be honest about their feelings, something powerful happens. Walls disappear, doubts fade, and what remains is something simple but incredibly strong. Connection. I feel that connection with you. It's there in the way my mind remembers small details about you, the way certain memories suddenly appear when the night grows quiet, the way your presence feels familiar, like something my heart recognized long before. You might understand into music. Yeah, I understood why. That kind of connection doesn't happen every day. It's rare. And when something rare appears in life, it deserves attention. It deserves moments where we stop everything else and simply appreciate what we have found. Tonight is that moment for me. The world outside may see it as just another evening, another ordinary stretch of time, passing quietly into tomorrow. But inside my heart, tonight carries a different meaning. It feels like a page waiting to be written, a moment that could become a memory we both look back on someday and smile about. A memory where two people chose honesty over hesitation. Maybe we would talk for hours. Maybe we would laugh about things that don't matter. Maybe we would simply sit together and watch the night slowly move toward morning. Whatever happens, it would be real. And real moments are the ones that stay with us the longest. That's why I'm asking you to come. Not because I need something from you, but because I want to share something with you. A moment, a feeling, a quiet truth that has been growing inside me for longer than I realized. Love doesn't always arrive with dramatic declarations. Sometimes it arrives with a soft voice that says something simple but sincere. Please come to me tonight. And maybe when you hear those words, you'll understand that the urgency. And maybe when you hear those words, you'll understand that the urgency isn't about fear or pressure. It's about the deep desire to share a meaningful moment with someone who has already become important to your heart, music. Because when love reaches that point, every second spent apart starts to feel longer than it should. And every second spent together suddenly feels priceless.